Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the massive heat wave that's going to be possible across Minnesota here this afternoon, with heat indexes of up to 110 may be possible. Extreme heat warnings are in effect by the National Weather Service for this insane heat probabilities. And not only heat is expected today, but we could also see chances for severe storms possible later this afternoon, with the main hazard of damaging winds possible. So in this video, we're going to be going over that and also kind of just what to expect with the day and for the rest of the week. So let's get into it. So we got a huge area of high pressure here. This is our 500 millibar level height. And we got a nice, pretty strong trough, mid-level trough here that's going to be kind of just moving and a little bit ejecting northeastward, just kind of throughout the day. Be kind of peaking later this afternoon and evening, and this will be helping. One of the reasons helping being responsible for storm development across western Minnesota into the Twin Cities later today. We do have a slight risk for the potential of severe weather today. Main hazards including winds and some hail. Isolated tornado could be possible, but winds look to be the highest potential today, as we got a little bit of that EML, elevated mix layer. It's going to be helping with kind of that downward mixing of your air that would cause the chances for damaging winds. We can look at our morning sounding here. We got a little bit of an inversion here, pretty kind of elevated type setup right now, but we have nice ample deep layer moisture here of about 76 surface base dew point, very, very moist, and then some nice, very nice cape profile of up to about 4,000 mixed layer cape. Pretty nice and juicy setup here today. Photographs a little kind of scramble-ish, I guess. A little bit of weaker winds aloft here, but we do have some nice kind of low level curvature that could help with potential for maybe a few tornadoes could be possible. But the main focus for today will be the heat. Most of the biggest heat will be focused here across the upper Midwest in the Minnesota area, where we can see high heat potentials of about 105, 106, and places like in Minneapolis could see up to 110. Could be possible, especially with a lot of, if you live in a high area with a lot of concrete buildings, it's going to be a good absorber for heat this afternoon, and so it's definitely going to be a pretty toasty one. And so we definitely do not want to be out during this time, because it's just going to be feeling miserable, and it increases your chances for heat-related illnesses. So be sure you have a working AC and a place where you can be able to cool down during this time. Dew points today will be just crazy moist, mid upper 70 dew points. Very moist environment. A lot of humidity is going to be found across here today, and will be the main reason for potentially robust storm development later this afternoon. The main thing that we're going to be kind of looking at when it comes to the thunderstorm potential later today is whether if these can break through a thermal inversion. It's going to be found here. Kind of can see this on this sounding here. This is a little bit of an elevated mix layer, which basically is kind of almost like a holding cap almost, that's going to kind of help prevent storms from developing any earlier today if they were able to. And so EMLs, or elevated mix layers, help a lot with preventing storms from going up, but then also helping build instability throughout the day. And as we press forward on the forecast hour, you can kind of see it slowly erode as we have our heating increase, and then we also have a little bit of a cold front with our surface cyclone that I mentioned earlier. That's going to help kind of reduce much of that capping, and then hopefully it should be able to get enough forcing to be able to cause condensate to occur, and then we can start having things going up and out. And then again, main hazards for our storm potential is going to be winds, as this will most likely be some type of linear cluster storm system. Looks to be kind of developing in western Minnesota by around kind of 10 p.m. time frame, and then it's kind of going to be moving in to the Twin Cities by about 12 a.m. or so. And yeah, so it's going to be a later night storm, but it could definitely be a fast mover late night storm. Another thing we want to be kind of watching too is kind of like a 2-round storm system. We got this one here, and then we kind of got this little one down here. Most likely because of stabilization that will occur with the storm. I personally don't think this could become anything, but based on a lot of different models, it's kind of been showing, the potential that this second storm could become something. But with the latest HER model that we have, the 12Z, it's going to be pretty stabilized, and there'll definitely still be CAPE involved, but depending on how much stabilization occurs with the first round of storms, it may determine whether if this actually will become something or not. But definitely for the first part of its life, it's going to definitely be a nice kind of robust type storm development across Nebraska. Here's kind of a look at our current satellite imagery. We got a large storm complex that's kind of developed across South Dakota, and that's moving into North Dakota, kind of eastern, southeastern North Dakota currently, and it will kind of just progress northeastward into northwest Minnesota by later this morning, and maybe early afternoon as well. Kind of a look at it right now. Definitely a very kind of destructive storm that's progressing. We got about 80 miles per hour winds being produced with this storm, and maybe a couple tornadoes may be possible within this main circulation. We can take a look at our velocity. We got nice kind of belt there of strong winds within the storm here of about 80 miles per hour, and definitely could see a little bit of some curving within there, and so that could lead to maybe a few pop-up tornadoes. But with this storm, primarily it's going to be just strong gusty winds that could definitely be very significant, and is currently it has a destructive, extremely dangerous situation tag on it. So it's definitely this is a definitely serious storm. So if you are in this area, south of Fargo currently, is definitely want to take shelter from this. This one's definitely a very definitely a big concern. So yeah, we want to be watching areas across Fargo too. See a potential for maybe some severe weather this morning. If this is able to maintain itself, and it looks like it will be because the environment that's in is pretty decent. We got about a little over 2,500 to about 2,000 to 2,500 CAPE here found across this area here, and so we got ample instability, and so this thing should be pretty fine making its way up there. But it looks like it might be just a little bit east of Fargo, and so you guys might be fine, but you definitely want to just be watching this, as you are still in a severe thunderstorm watch for the potential of 2-inch hail and that over 95 miles an hour winds. So let's take a look at timing of things with temperatures. So it looks like kind of the 90 degrees starts popping in by around 9 a.m., which is currently 9 a.m. So 90 degrees, this is our heat index. It should become around 100 degrees by about noon time. It's going to feel like that heat index. And then it looks like the worst of the temperatures will be about that 4 o'clock p.m. Time frame. If you are in Minneapolis or anywhere that's kind of in a city, it's definitely going to be localizedly definitely going to be hotter. Could be definitely approaching that 110 degree temperature. So definitely going to be, you can see this kind of like a hot spot here still. So cities are definitely a big heat absorbers with all the with all the concrete and stuff. And so definitely, if you are in that area, definitely want to be staying cool. It's going to be very toasty today, and it's already feeling very toasty. And it's only 9:30 right now, and so yeah, very, very moist today. Definitely want to make sure you stay hydrated and stuff, and not be out in the heat today. It's going to be really, really nasty. National Weather Service has issued a extreme heat warning for the areas here, much of kind of the Twin Cities area, and into a little bit of northern Twin Cities, and then kind of western and southern, southeastern Minnesota, and then much of Iowa is in that as well. All of Iowa is in there, and then also into Wisconsin, kind of have that area, and so this will kind of last until really the worst of the heat will kind of last until like Tuesday, but the heat itself is gonna kind of last until the rest of the week here. And so the temperatures really today are only going to be in kind of the mid 90s, but the heat index is what's going to be the big contributor to today's heat. And really what makes the heat index so high is actually the humidity. Humidity plays a large role in how hot it really feels and how sticky and thick it feels. Humidity has a big role in that, because essentially the more humidity that you have in the air, the more or the less that your body's able to release heat, because when it's humid, it's not able to, accept more heat or moisture into the air. And so it almost acts as kind of it prevents you from evaporating your heat. And so that's why it feels so hot during the day when it's humid. And so that's kind of the main reason behind what that is. But yeah, let's see, this is Tuesday, 1 p.m. And so a lot of this kind of 90 temperature just going to be continuing throughout the week. 80s, 90s, 80s, kind of cools off near the end of the week. Still kind of in that mid 80s temperatures, but should be out of here within by next week or so. But thanks to all the moisture that's going to be present, we could definitely be seeing multi-day chances of thunderstorms, and some maybe could be severe. So here's the setup. We got our area of high pressure, and then we got our incoming little shortwave troughs here that will be kind of emerging from the west, and these will provide one after another chances of forcing and lift with pretty ample moisture quality from our area of inflow from the Gulf, and this should allow for a lot of chances throughout the week here for storms. Take a look at our dew point, 70s all day today, and then cold front comes, kind of pushes aside, but still remain in the 70s. This is Wednesday, 4 p.m. We still have now Thursday, Friday, kind of got caught back a little bit with that 70s, now kind of upper 60s dew point. So we're gonna be hanging on to this moisture for a good amount of time. So it's just gonna be hot and humid all week. So, but today's just gonna be the kind of the worst of it, as we kind of have our area of high pressure that peaks, and then it will kind of move off a little bit, but we still will have nice inflow of our moisture being advected northward from the Gulf, and we should see a pretty persistent long stretch of just hot and humid days, and this will be great ingredients for the potential of more storms. But you can kind of see this is a surface map now. You kind of see the area of high pressure here. And we just got all these little areas of low pressure that will kind of be continuing to kind of develop. Kind of got now a little stationary low here across Canada that we kind of help influence kind of the progression of incoming storm systems that would be needed to make more storms and rain and stuff. So yeah, it's just going to be kind of a hot, humid, and stormy weekend for much of the upper Midwest here. And so, yeah, that's kind of all that we have here. And then after, I guess after this week, we kind of go into more of a what we call a zonal flow pattern. We got kind of primarily west-east flow, and so things should stabilize a little bit. But the fact that you can see we have these little dips, these are little short waves, so that means we could get some more storm action. And so, yeah, that's kind of what to expect. The heat should be, the worst of the heat should be gone by at least next week. And so, but we'll still see that nice summer 80 degrees as normal. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's little kind of forecast discussion, and I hope to do more of these in the future. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.